Well, good morning or good evening, baseball fans. Don't know which one it is for you. It is 12:29 a.m. Saturday morning. To me, it's still Friday night because, yeah. So, yeah, got off work very, very late. Missed Bernie's game, and I know we usually do our baseball chin wag, or we're going to start doing that on Fridays, but was hanging out there on Chris Slovik's channel to show support. He's doing some football is what I'm calling it now. So I had no idea what was going on. There was a lot of snow and stuff like that, but it was just always fun to just hang out with Chris. So there we go. We got a couple good matchups here. I'm kind of looking at the just for pitching matchups, the 1930s versus the 2000s teams. Carl Hubble versus John Smoltz. The 1930s team at 1-4, the 2000s team at 4-1. That's possible. We've got the 1800s team versus the 1970s. Bud Galvin versus Bert Blyleven. A good one here between the 40s and 50s. Again, the 1950s team not doing so good right now. Feller versus Lemon. Let me see the 1910s against the 1980s. Walsh versus Rogers. The 1900s versus the 1990s would be Addie Joss versus Greg Maddux. Could be a good one. And a real good matchup here would be the 1920s versus the 1960s. Kovaleski and Drysdale. So Texag's got a few minutes. Yeah, I know you're off to do some college football tomorrow, as you do on Saturdays. And there's Aaron Reed. All right, doing well, Michael. Just a little tired. Today was the day from hell at work for everybody. So, yeah, it is what it is. But I just feel like doing some baseball after being in that cold, snowy football game. I thought we'd do a little bit more action PC. As we had somebody in the Discord asking questions about the game and what can you do in it, and it's more like what you can't do, at least at the major league level. So I need to pick a game here. We've got some good ones here. We've done the 1930s a lot on this one, so I'm almost tempted to do Kovaleski and Drysdale. Probably. I think that's what we'll do. Our jail had a nice chat going earlier. Cool. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed it. Yeah, got to pay the bills. I wish this did. But there you go, guys. So I don't know if you can see up in the screen. You want to pick a game, a matchup. Again, this is a subset, an older subset, which Dave Cook needs to bring back of the baseball history collection. So these are the best players of each decade from the 1800s through the 2000s, and they're all put on teams. And I created the logos, named the teams, whatever, and there you go. So Texags, first one says 1920s versus the 1960s. So it'll be Kovaleski and Drysdale. Let's play. Let's do it. Let's play some baseball. All right, so we're going to make the 1960s. If somebody feels like managing, we'll do that because I don't know crap about the 1960s. So we'll let you guys call like when a reliever should come in or stuff like that because I'm not so strong on the 1960s. And I also have an idea I want to run by you guys, which again, it's all still pre-McGreevy. I talked about the All-Star game idea, which I do want to do, but I have something that I want to run past you guys. It'd be fun for a night in a chat. And as we get through the game, we'll talk about that. Hey there, brother JT. It is good to see you. Good to see you as always. Well, Bernie, we can always do a double header. It's early for you, and it's Friday. I don't have to get up tomorrow. So, Bernie, we might do 1940 versus 1950 after. Aaron Reese says, fellows, please keep me in your thoughts. You're currently sick and not doing well, but you're still here always, Aaron. Of course we will. You better believe it. Yeah, buddy. Most assuredly. All right, this will be the 1920s versus the 1960s, and we'll let the chat manage the 1960s. Because yeah. All right, so I've nicknamed this the 1960s the Clementes. I'm going to do a computer lineup, and then so There we go. So we got Vada Pinson, Jim Fregosi, Orlando Cepeda, Billy Williams, Roberto Clemente, Brooks Robinson, Bill Freehan, Bill Mazeroski, and Don Drysdale. Um, let's just do it. Yeah, and congratulations to the Texas Rangers. I wasn't rooting for them, but I am glad that they at least won. They finally won a World Series because the D-backs did. So there we go. All right. So Bernie wants to see Koufax. The problem with Koufax, Bernie, is he'd be starting on short rest. So that's the problem because this is a league that's already started. So Koufax would only be good for 20 pitches. So Drysdale's next in the rotation. Koufax would get probably motorized. Juan Marichal, he would be going on short rest too. So Gibson is available, but that would be going out of rotation. So that would be the problem. If we pitch Gibson, we could screw up this rotation. And the Clementes are 1 and 4. So let's at least stick for Drysdale with that. And the rest of you guys can do this. Let me just fix the sound settings. And we'll play some baseball. Baseball. Having fun with, I'm setting up I started showing you guys last night how easy it is to set up a league in Digital Diamond Baseball, and I've got a good deal of 1906 done. So the reason I picked, not only because of my love for old baseball, because people are under the impression you can only go back to 1927. Everybody's excited that somebody finally did 1919. It just takes some work. So setting up 1906. Also, the National League is done in the Bats League for Out of the Park Baseball, so I'll be starting the American League tomorrow. Probably the St. Louis Browns / Orioles and the Boston Red Sox. And hopefully, I hope to have the American League done by this week. And then we're going to start the Bats League. And I'll put it up in Out of the Park 24 format. And I'll also, for Cousin Ken, put it in Out of the Park 23 format. So JT Dutch says, bittersweet to see Seager win the World Series MVP as he should still be there in LA. Texag says that Seager is good. All right, here we go. And welcome to Shea Stadium here in the borough of Queens in the Big Apple for tonight's game between the 1920s and the 1960s. Stan Kovaleski will take the mound for the 1920s squad, the Babe Ruths. He has one start in the year, and he's 0-1 with an earned run average of 1.13. This will be his first start against the Clementes. And taking the hill for the Clementes will be Don Drysdale. One start in the year, and he is 0-1, an ERA a little higher of 5.63. It is 44 degrees here in New York. Wind speed 17 miles per hour out to right field, so lefty hitters have to be loving that. Let's get to the action.
Play ball!
All right, let's look at the batting order for each team. First, for the Babe Ruths, we will see Rogers Hornsby, George Sisler, Babe Ruth, Bobby Veach, Max Carey, and I believe this is Joe Sewell. Let me double check. Should be. And it is. I always get Joe and Luke mixed up because one is and one isn't. Anyhow, Willie Cam, Muddy Rule, and Stan Kovaleski. For the 1960s, Vada Pinson, Jim Fregosi, Orlando Cepeda, Billy Williams, Roberto Clemente, Brooks Robinson, Bill Freehan, Bill Mazeroski, and Don Drysdale. Drysdale ready to work now. Finishing up his warm-up pitches, Rogers Hornsby steps in. Hornsby so far on this season is 9 for 18, including 4 home runs and 6 runs batted in. So roll up a game. If you're going to roll one up, grab a beverage, whatever, and let's just do some baseball, and we can always talk some baseball. Drysdale ready to deal. Here's the 3-1 to Hornsby, who he doesn't want to hit, by the way. Here is the 3-1. And Hornsby lays off. the changeup and draws the walk. So the Babe Ruth with a runner on board, and Hornsby has some speed. And here is gorgeous George Sisler, the first baseman. Sisler, right now, hitting a rather paltry 158. Hornsby leads off first. Drysdale with a check. The runner, the wind, in the 0-1 pitch. Curveball. This one bounced foul on the third base side. The count, no balls, 2 strikes on the St. Louis Browns' great George Sisler. Elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, I believe, in 1937. Drysdale deals the 0-2. And Sisler lays off and draws the walk. And Drysdale, with his temper, they said he would throw to his own grandma. It would have been fun. We'll have to do a Drysdale versus Gibson game some night and see who beans whom. But Drysdale needs to establish that plate. All right, here is the Bambino. He is hitting 375, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in. And there's our Bronx hot dog salesman who has decided he's going to moonlight here in Queens. All right, the lefty Ruth stands in. Drysdale ready to deliver to the Sultan of SWAT. The 1-2 pitch, changeup, and Ruth slashes this up the middle and goes for 2. It's a double and an RBI. So there you go. And getting on the board first, the Ruths. So thanks to the RBI double by Babe Ruth, and Rogers Hornsby scores in the play. George Sisler at third, Babe Ruth at second. For Tiger great Bobby Veach. Veach hitting a very healthy 409, 2 home runs, 4 runs batted in for Veach. Drysdale works out of the stretch. The 1-2 pitch to Veach. Curveball, and this one is out of here. A laser shot to dead center field, and Bobby Veach with a 2-run dinger. And that one makes it 4-0 Ruths. So Veach got all of that one. 385 feet. Barely had time to call that. All right. Batting in the 5th slot, one of the premier center fielders of his day, Hall of Famer Max Carey, the switch hitter, be batting left against Drysdale. Carey on the season hitting 250 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. So Tex Ags got a book today that I have reviewed on here. Cousin Ken Castro is here. Cousin, National League done with the bats. I'll start the American League tomorrow. Tex Ags said, got a book in today, the baseball timeline. Very glossy pages, illustrated pictures, covers, 1778 to 2000. Awesome book. It is one of the best books, baseball books ever. Tex Ags, I know you never saw my review on that. It's phenomenal, and it's going to take you ages to get. I've never ever gotten through the whole book yet. The way, well, you've seen the way it's written, the way it's set up. You could just read along the timeline and be busy for forever in that book. It's invaluable for season research. Ken Books, his nice book. He needs it. Well, I'm going to tell you what, Cousin Ken. Just because I wear a silly grin. I don't even know why I'm singing it. New Beatles song is out. It is beautiful, by the way. Garnering all kinds of great critical success. And so, Ken, right now, it is $6.16. And this is the one by Bert Solomon on eBay. Another one for $6.15, $6.38, $7. The most expensive one I'm seeing here is $9.50. And you definitely want to get the one with the baseball on the cover. That's the newest edition. It's a big honkin' head. Well, there's one here for $25. But the one I got was like $7 a few years ago, and it was in fantastic shape. So, great book. Yeah, you're welcome, Ken. It's 1,300 pages, and I mean, there's lots and lots of text in the game. I promise you guys to have a webcam set up soon for strictly for doing book reviews, because there's a lot of books I want to review, and a lot of people. We're turning into sort of a book club here, as well as a baseball chat and baseball gaming thing, whatever. But it was rated the sports book of the year when it was published, and it's brilliant. It's a book you'd have proud on your bookcase or whatever. It's brilliant, just a brilliant book. Don't know why. I mean, we're never gonna see its like again, but what an excellent book. So Tex said he spent $11 on it. Has the sleeve hardcover, very good condition. Couldn't be happier with this book. I am so glad. Yeah, I am so glad. So Bernie, it's interesting you mentioned. And here I go off the game already. We still around here. We still have a Barnes and Noble, and we have a Books a Million. So I do go to Barnes and Noble, but most of these things really, eBay for baseball books, guys. It's your best friend. It really, really is. Wow. So glad somebody else picked up the baseball timeline. Enjoy it for decades to come. It really is not something you're going to burn through, even in a month. It's massive, 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 massive. All right, here is Max Carey now as he's waiting for me to shut the hell up and get back to the game. Nobody out, and the Ruths at a 3-2 record have plated 4 thus far. Bases empty now for Max Carey. Drysdale with the 1-0 delivery. Curveball. Carey sends this high, but not deep enough to right. Clemente backpedals and just short of the track makes the catch. So a Pirate flies out to a Pirate. 1 down now for shortstop Joe Sewell. Joe, who we don't see a lot on this channel, we should see more of, the shortstop, hitting .250, home run, 4 runs batted in. In fact, we're going to feature Joe Sewell tonight as our player in this game. Don Drysdale ready to deal. The 1-2 pitch, curveball. Sewell sends this high and deep to right, but Clemente at the wall makes the catch. So finally 2 down, and Drysdale looking to get out of this messy inning. And here's Willie Cam, third baseman and late of the Chicago White Sox. Cam is hitting .316 with 7 runs batted in. Drysdale into his wind and the pitch. Cam swings in the first pitch. Grounder to Fregosi, who ranges to his left, fires onto the baby bull for the final out of the inning. But 4 runs, 2 hits, no errors. We've played a half inning. It's the 1920s Babe Ruth's 4. In the 1960s, Roberto Clemente is coming to bat. The Ruths at 3-2 in this young season. The Clementes at 1-4. Vada Pinson will lead it off. There's been a lot of hullabaloo lately as to whether Pinson should be in the Hall of Fame. I'd like to get your thoughts, folks, on what you think about Vada Pinson. I'll be coming up in a few innings with an idea that I have when we get a good amount of viewership. I think it's a fun community real-time project that I have in mind for a tournament, not a season. All right. So Vada Pinson is hitting .261 with a run batted in. Stan Kovaleski rubbing up the ball, has the sign from the catcher Muddy Rule. We saw Rule in a game, I believe, last night. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Vada Pinson looks at this one inside, painting the black. So that's a strikeout for Kovaleski. 1 down now for shortstop Jim Fregosi, wearing his Mets livery. Fregosi hitting a healthy .313 with 2 runs batted in. Windy day here in New York, and lefty batters are loving that. Wind going out to right field. Otherwise, not a cloud in the sky here in Queens. Kovaleski deals. Here's the 0-1 fastball, and Fregosi sends this to right field. Extra bases. Fregosi turns at second, slides into third, and it is a triple. And they are on their feet here for Jim Fregosi, getting the 3-bagger. Here is the baby bull. Cepeda hitting .318, 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in. Cousin Ken says, tastes you to a wonderful thick magazine from Saber, the Baseball Research Journal. Used to get as a PDF, but on your renewal, you switch to hard copy, and boy, is it a treat. 4 times a year. Ty Cobb's featured on the cover. Yeah, I used to get the Saber Journal. Maybe I should get back to getting it hardcover too. It's just not the same reading the journal on a PDF, is it? My chapter of Saber doesn't seem to be really, it's the Christy Mathewson chapter here, and they don't seem to be really active, which really sucks. I want to go to some Saber meetings, but not much happening with the Christy Mathewson chapter that I've seen thus far. Everybody else is doing all kinds of great stuff. Screw the PDF, says Cousin Ken. All right. Kovaleski from the stretch to Cepeda. The 0-1 pitch, fastball. Cepeda swings, and this one laced to left, base hit. Veach gets it in, and Fregosi scores, and the Clementes get a run on the board with one down. Cepeda on at first for Billy Williams. What a great player Billy Williams is, and I'm almost tempted to switch from Joe Sewell to Billy Williams. Anyhow, Williams hitting .235, so underperforming right now. He does have a double and a run scored. Cepeda at first, 12 steals last season. Kovaleski with a check of the runner, the 1-2 pitch, fastball. Billy Williams fouls this one. This will make the seats on the right-hand side. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Billy. Kovaleski deals. Williams swings. This one a little bouncer down to third. Willie Cam, the long throw across the diamond to Sisler to retire Billy Williams. Cepeda moves to second on the play. 2 down, 4-1 your score. And here is the great one, Roberto Clemente hitting .381, a home run, 6 runs batted in on the season. Kovaleski kicks and fires, the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, Clemente, base hit, left field, Bobby Veach up with it. Cepeda rounds third, he will come home to score, and the Clementes have cut the Roots lead in half. It is now the 1920s 4 and the 1960s 2. 2 down, Clemente on at first for Brooks Robinson. Brooksy hitting .267, a home run, and a run batted in for him. Clemente leads off first, 2 down, bottom of the first. The 2-1 pitch. Curveball, Robinson bounces this to Hornsby. Close play at first, but they do just get Robinson for the 3rd out of the inning. However, for the Clementes, 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. We've played 1 complete here at Shea Stadium, and it's the Roots 4 and the Clementes 2. Todd B says, just finished a basketball game, dropping in for a little bit and dropping a like. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, some chapters, just like anything, it's sort of like the International Brotherhood of Magicians that I belong to. Again, not much going on in this area of PA, but not that I'm a fan of driving into Philly, so there you go. All right, here is Muddy Rule. Muddy is making his first appearance of the season. Don Drysdale ready to deal. The 1-0 pitch, fastball, Rule, hard grounder to Brooks Robinson, close play at first, and that one, Cepeda had to dig it out of the dirt and keeps the ball in front of him, but Muddy Rule will be on first thanks to the E5, so rare error there by Brooks Robinson, and Muddy Rule on first, 6 steals last season, and here's the pitcher, Stan Kovaleski. Here's the pitch. Corners in at first and third. Kovaleski tries to bunt. This one goes foul on the left side. The count, no balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch to Kovaleski coming in. Kovaleski bounces this to Mazeroski. Mazeroski will go to Fregosi, but the hard slide by Muddy Rule will break up the double play. Kovaleski on in a fielder's choice, 1 down. And we go back to the top of the order, and here is the Raja, who walked back in the first. Drysdale sets and fires. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball. And Hornsby looks at one catch in the outside corner. So Drysdale's starting to find his mojo now. That's his first strikeout of the game, and he's walked 2. 2 away now for George Sisler. The first baseman also walked. So Drysdale with that rocky first inning, and those walks did come back to bite him. Here's the pitch. And Sisler, first ball swinging on this curveball, back and making the catch is Vada Pinson to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. The score remains 4-2. As Ken asking Todd what the Hoops game was. And it's good to see Bernie in here. Pinson says, or Bernie says that Pinson falls just short of Hall of Fame, not enough power for an outfielder. Bill Freehand leads it off here now, former Detroit Tiger. .231 average, 1 run batted in. Stan Kovaleski deals the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, and base hit left field. Bobby Veach has it, gets it into Joe Sewell at short. All right, brings up Bill Mazeroski now. Mazeroski hitting surprisingly on target early in the season, though, but hitting .278 with a run batted in. Kovaleski winds and fires. Here's the 0-1. Fastball bounced up the middle. Base hit. Freehan will round second, and he will hold there. So here comes the 1960 squad. The tying run at first. The go-ahead run comes to the plate in Don Drysdale. Willie Cam playing in at third. George Sisler in at first. Kovaleski from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Drysdale gets a bunt down the first base line, and they tag Drysdale coming down the line. Nice play there by George Sisler. So one down, the runners advance. Bill Freehan at third. Bill Mazeroski at second for Vada Pinson. Pinson, nothing for one. He struck out back in the first. The lefty in there against Kovaleski from the stretch, and the 3-0 delivery. Fastball, and this one missing just low. Kovaleski wanting the call, didn't get it. The bases are loaded for Jim Fregosi, who tripled his last time up. Kovaleski works to him. The 1-2 pitch. Fregosi sends this to third. Cam will go to Hornsby. Hornsby to Sisler for the inning-ending double play. They leave him loaded and do nothing with it. We go to the top of the third inning. It is still 4-2. Todd answers that it's his 1984-85 project in Action PC Basketball, where he redrafted the season. Michael Jordan is with the Rockets. Olajuwon with Portland, etc. It's always fun to take an established season and release the players and redraft them onto different teams. That's a lot of fun, Todd. Yeah, I think Pinson's, is it his wife that's on there too? I know the Pinson family really pushing for Cooperstown for Vada. Babe Ruth will lead it off here, followed by Bobby Veach and Max Carey. Another guy I would love to, I want to feature on the channel. Anyhow, Babe Ruth with an RBI double back in the first that scored Rogers Hornsby. Drysdale winds and fires. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball. Ruth sends this high and deep. This one, no doubt about it, off the scoreboard. Babe Ruth does what he does best. He goes downtown 355 feet. The typical Babe Ruth big arcing shot. And it is now 5-2. All right, Bobby Veach with 3 runs batted in today. And that was a 3-run shot, baseball fans, back in the first. Drysdale not looking sharp. I'm surprised he hasn't hit anybody yet. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curveball. This one up the middle. What a great play by Jim Fregosi. Diving stop onto first to Cepeda to get Bobby Veach for out number 1. And here is Maximilian Carey. So the switch hitting center fielder flied to deep right back in the first. Drysdale winds and deals. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Carey swings, sends this fastball deep to left. Billy Williams back and leaps at the wall and saves a home run. And looks like we might have had an injury. And yes, Max Carey turned an ankle, so he is out for the game. We're going to have to find a new center fielder. All right, here is Joe Sewell batting with 2 down and a run in. It's 5-2 in favor of the 1920 squad. And interestingly enough, did a poll last night, what other best of decade would you guys like to see? And it was a good race between the 1950s and the 1920s. So we'll carry on that poll one more time just to see. Nobody voted for the 30s or 40s, so I'm kind of not surprised, I guess. So yeah, it's going to be a race between the 1950s and the 1920s. Something to do. All right, here's Joe Sewell. He gave it a ride to very deep right center. When we get to the bottom of the third, we'll have Orlando Cepeda. Then our player, we're going to do Billy Williams tonight, and then Roberto Clemente. Don Drysdale deals to Joe Sewell. The 1-1 pitch. Sewell, 2-hopper to Maz. Quick snap throw onto Cepeda to end the inning. 1 run on the Babe Ruth home run. No errors. Bottom of the third. It's 5-2 in favor of the 1920s Babe Ruths. Orlando Cepeda will lead it off. The baby bull last time singled and scored Jim Fregosi. Kovaleski deals the 1-1 pitch. Fastball. And this one past Hornsby into center field for a base hit. And now it is time. It is time once again, kiddos, for me to read to you. And tonight will be Billy Williams. Another story of a great, great Cubs player who never saw a World Series. Oh, my. All right, so let's get to Billy Williams once again from the Biographical Encyclopedia of Baseball. And if you don't have this one, why not? Great, great, great book. All right. As I'm always paging through this looking for our player, I always see like all these other players I want to talk about. And the guy we're definitely going to be talking about is Lloyd Wainer, who gets not a lot of love, but a great write-up here about Lloyd Wainer. And I am on a mission to always defend Lloyd Wainer. He was a fantastic baseball player who happened to be playing in the shadow of a beyond fantastic player, his brother, Paul. All right, gentlemen, crack a beverage, and let's do Billy Williams. All right, let's do it. So, real name's Billy Leo Williams. He was born 15th of June, 1938, Whistler, Alabama. He made his debut on August 6, 1959, with the Cubbies. Batted left through right, 6'1", 175. He never won a home run title, appeared in a World Series, or was chosen most valuable player. Yet Billy Leo Williams was a consistently good ball player who, throughout an outstanding Major League career from 1959 through 1976 that eventually landed him in the Hall of Fame, spent most of his time in the shadows of his more famous teammates on the Chicago Cubs. Two of those Cubby teammates, shortstop first baseman Ernie Banks and right-handed pitcher Fergie Jenkins, also became Hall of Famers. And third baseman and cleanup hitter Rod Santo also diverted attention for Williams simply because of his more flamboyant personality. And of course, Santo in the Hall of Fame. Too damn long for Santo to wait to be in there, but he got in. Anyhow, back to Billy Williams. Yet day after day, year after year, Williams put up productive numbers, performed admirably in the outfield, and played virtually every game. He finished his career with a .290 lifetime batting average, 426 home runs, and 1,475 runs batted in. He was Rookie of the Year in 1961 and an All-Star 6 times, and in 1972 he won the National League batting title with a .333 average. Leo DeRocher, his former manager, had this to say about him, quote, "In spring training I said, well, this year I'm going to give him a rest, but every time I made out my lineup card I had to put him in there. It would have been like scratching Whirl Away and Seabiscuit from a big race," end of quote. Williams grew up in Mobile, Alabama, where the slightly older Hank Aaron was an idol and first baseman Willie McCovey was a friendly rival. He won his only high school letter as a defensive end and was offered a football scholarship to Louisiana's Grambling State University. Instead, smart guy, he played third base for the semi-pro Mobile Black Bears. One day, with a scout for the Cubs in attendance, Williams performed especially well and was offered a deal. "There's no money involved," he recalled. "My father got a cigar and I got a ticket to Ponca City, Oklahoma." That's good old-time baseball. His dad got a cigar. Love it. In 1959, while battling homesickness at San Antonio, Williams had the good fortune to be tutored by Rogers Hornsby. How cool is that? The Hall of Fame second baseman and three-time .400 hitter. Never knew that Hornsby tutored him. Hornsby accurately predicted stardom for his pupil, taking Williams under his wing and teaching him the strike zone. A few weeks later, the Raja told the Cubs front office, "Get that kid Williams up there as fast as you can. He's wasting his time here." So, editorial pause. Oh my God. If Rogers Hornsby is saying that about you, and let's highlight Billy down here. If Rogers Hornsby says that about you, that is huge praise. Hornsby not known for being very free with his praise. Anyhow, let's move on here. After brief appearances with the Cubs in 1959 and 1960, Williams got a start in left field on June 15, 1961, his 23rd birthday. He hit a grand slam to beat San Francisco and never left the starting lineup again. At season's end, he was named the Baseball Writers Association of America's Rookie of the Year. That's back when those guys knew what they were talking about. Williams finished his rookie campaign with a .278 average with 25 home runs and 86 runs batted in. It was the first of 13 straight seasons in which he would hit more than 20 homers and drive in no fewer than 84 runs. From September 1963 through September 1970, Billy Williams played in 1,117 consecutive games, establishing a National League record that lasted until San Diego first baseman Steve Garvey surpassed it in 1983. Williams broke Stan Musial's previous record in style on September 29th, 1969, Billy Williams Day at Wrigley Field, going 5 for 9 as the Cubs swept a doubleheader from the Cardinals. As with so many other aspects of his career, Williams' achievement that year was obscured by the Cubs losing the National League East to the Mets after building a large lead for most of the season. Although the team tired and slumped at the end, Williams hit .304 in September. He was the lone Cub regular to bat better than .300 during the stretch drive. And I've always thought the 1969 race would be fun to manage the Cubs and see if you could get them past the Amazons. Anyhow, in 1970, Williams led the league in hits with 205 and in runs scored by 137, and finished second to Cincinnati's Johnny Bench with 42 home runs and 129 runs batted in. In 1972, he won his only batting and slugging titles with .333 and .606 averages, respectively. Beyond that, he smashed 37 homers and drove in 122 runs, again second to Bench, who edged Williams in the league MVP voting that year. A steady performer, Williams was occasionally spectacular. In 1968, he hit for the cycle, smacked 3 homers in one game, and tied a major league record by hitting 2 more home runs in the next game, 5 consecutive homers in all. In 1972, he went 8 for 8 in a doubleheader. In the 1975 American League Championship Series against the Red Sox, however, Williams was 0 for 8 in 2 games as a designated hitter for Oakland. In Rick Phelan's Our Chicago Cubs, Williams said that his greatest hit was the home run he smacked on opening day 1970, in the bottom of the 13th inning off Cardinals' Bob Gibson, giving Fergie Jenkins the victory. 3 years later, Williams became the highest paid payer in Cubs history at the time, when he signed for $150,000. It was a testament to his skill, although Williams acknowledged his lack of showmanship in his biography. He said, "People say I'm not an exciting ball player. I go out there and catch the ball and hit the ball and play the game like it should be played." Williams had to wait until 1987, his 6th year of eligibility, before the Baseball Writers Association of America finally voted him into the Hall of Fame. He had fallen only 4 votes short in 1986, missing a chance to be immortalized alongside his old Mobile, Alabama rival Willie McCovey. Bitter at the narrow margin of defeat, he was delighted at his election the following year. "It's like an Oscar to an actor, a Pulitzer Prize to a writer, a Nobel Prize to a scientist," he said. At the induction ceremony in Cooperstown, Williams paid tribute to his late mother and his father, a one-time ball player, who unloaded banana boats to put food on the table, said Williams. Working as a batting coach for the Cubs at the time of his induction, which coincided with the 40th anniversary of Jackie Robinson's integration of the big leagues, Williams took the occasion to urge baseball officials to accelerate the hiring of African Americans on all levels, from third base coaches to managers to, yes, even owners. So Billy Williams, 2,488 games, 9,350 at-bats, 1,410 runs scored, 2,711 hits, 426 home runs, 1,475 runs batted in, an on-base percentage for Billy of .364, slugging average lifetime .492, and a lifetime batting average of .290. Billy Leo Williams, monster player who went out and played every day. I love what he said about his mom and dad unloaded banana boats to put food on the table. So Billy not coming from privilege, but my big takeaway from that is to be tutored by Roger Hornsby. Could you imagine? That is just amazing, amazing stuff. Love it. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. A little bit of Billy Williams. Tex Ag says in 1959, Williams, then 21, was playing for the Cubs AA affiliate, San Antonio. Yep, and as we learned, was homesick. All right, Billy, would love to see you crank one out of here, man. Billy's 0 for 1, grounded to third, last time up. Cepeda on first, nobody out. Kovaleski deals to Billy Williams. Here's the 2-0 pitch, fastball, and Kovaleski hits Williams. So here we go. Is Don Drysdale going to come back and do some headhunting? We shall see. All right, the great one comes to the plate now. Clemente, 1 for 1, RBI single that scored the baby bull back in the first. Kovaleski with a check of the runners, and he comes home with it. Clemente, first pitch swinging on the fastball, fouled behind the plate, and going back on his muddy roll, and he will run out of real estate here at Shea. Clemente back in, the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Change up, and Clemente, swing and a miss. 1 down, second strikeout for Stan Kovaleski. And here's Brooks Robinson, who we lost earlier this year. May his memory be eternal. Brooks grounded to second back in the first. Last year, Robinson grounded into 11 double plays. Kovaleski sets and fires. The count even at 2-2. Fastball, bouncer to short, and it's going to be Sewell to Sisler for out number 2. Moving up in the play, Cepeda on third. Billy Williams at second for Bill Freehand. Freehand is 1 for 1. Singled back in the second. Kovaleski from the stretch. The count full. Curveball. And this one up high at the shoulder. So Kovaleski already hitting a batter and throwing very near Freehand now. And the bases are loaded. And it brings up Hall of Famer Bill Mazeroski. Singled back in the second. Here is the pitch. Maz swings, lines this one to center, but this one right in the glove of Hack Wilson. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave them loaded. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Willie Cam, Muddy Rule, and Stan Kovaleski against Don Drysdale. We'll see if there'll be any retaliation. The umpire's already warned Don Drysdale, and he's already warned Kovaleski, so both dugouts put on alert here. All right, Mike, good to see you. Let's hope for a chin wag. We don't have to wait till next Friday. Let's try to get you on again, man. Want to do it. Again, I missed Bernie's game. I'm sorry, guys. Work went really late tonight. All right. Don Drysdale ready to deal. Willie Cam grounded short his last time up. All right, Mike. Excellent. If I don't go out tomorrow night, guys, if you're up for some baseball talk, let's do it. Maybe, once I give you this idea, maybe folks will be into the idea I haven't talked about yet. A real-time fun thing we can do. All right. Anyhow, the 1-2 pitch. And long fly ball, but not deep enough. Roberto Clemente will range over to his right, calling off out of Pinson to make the catch to retire Willie Cam for out number 1. Here's the catcher, Muddy Rule. He was safe on a throwing error back in the second. And that was that rare error there. It was an E5. So Brooksy, the only error in the game. The 0-1 pitch, Muddy Rule slaps this one to left field. Billy Williams up with it, gets it into Jim Fregosi. Muddy Rule on at first for Stan Kovaleski. Muddy Rule just 6 steals last season. Kovaleski will try to move him over. Infield in, or corners in, and Kovaleski swings away, base hit to left, and they're going to hold Muddy Rule at second. So smart hitting by Kovaleski. Got a curveball that he could hit. It didn't quite break enough for Drysdale, so 2 on, 1 down for the Raja. We're back at the top of the order now. The Raja throwing a little wink out there to left field to his protege, Billy Williams. So Hornsby has walked and struck out. Drysdale deals. Here's the 3-1. Hornsby takes ball 4, and Drysdale loads him up with 1 down for George Sisler. George Sisler may not be a power hitter, but George Sisler can hurt you. He has walked and flown out to right center. Drysdale from the stretch, and the 2-2 pitch. And Sisler swinging a miss. Sisler was swinging for the Swinging for the beer sign out there in right field and comes up empty. All right, it'll be Babe Ruth now, 2 for 2. Babe Ruth with an RBI double in the first and a solo homer in the third. Drysdale working carefully, eyes up. Ruth gets the sign from Freehand. No place to put the Bambino. 2 down. Drysdale with a 1-1 pitch. Fastball. Ruth sends us up the middle. Line drive, base hit. Pinson up with it. Muddy Rule will score. Stan Kovaleski will score. Hornsby will move up, and so will Ruth. So Babe Ruth, an absolute monster today, and the 1920s team running away with it now 7-2. And it doesn't get any easier, at least in this ball game. Hornsby at third, Ruth at second. Bobby Veach has batted in 3 today, including a 2-run homer. Drysdale from the stretch. Nope, Juan Pizarro will come in to pitch. We'll talk about Pizarro in a second. Long fly ball. Back in slightly deep center. Vada Pinson makes the catch for the out. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Babe Ruth's 7, the Roberto Clemente's 2. And Juan Pizarro, let's see if he actually... All right, chat. Are we going to... Yeah, we have an extra hour of baseball tomorrow night. All right, guys, for you 1960s-er, I'm not sure what the AI is going to do. So do you want to let Pizarro... you want to go to the bench? This is... let's have a look at the bench. Let's have a look at the bench. What do you say? Let's look at the 1960s roster. We can also look at the batter-pitcher matchup, but there's a lot of choices here, obviously. You got Mays, Robinson, so I know you guys would want a pinch hitter, so let me know who you like. I'm certainly I wouldn't let, Juan Pizarro bat, not with all this power. You got K-Line, Santo, there's Elston Howard. This team's loaded. They're all loaded. So it's a question of who you want to see. All right, Texags calling for Willie Mays. So Willie Mays will come in to pinch hit. Yup, there we go. And the AI, of course, bringing in Hack Wilson for the injured Max Carey. All right, Willie Mays is a pinch hitter. Hasn't done anything yet. He's only had 1 at-bat in this season, so Willie Mays not getting really a lot of playing time. That's how deep this 1960s team is. All right. So nobody on, and here we go. Kovaleski deals a Say Hey Kid, the 3-1 pitch, fastball. And this one, high and outside, and Willie Mays is aboard. The Say Hey Kid, 21 steals last year, back at the top of the order. And Vada Pinson, he has struck out and walked. Anytime, everybody's calling for Mays. Anybody wants to see any changes for the 1960s, throw up an emoji or something. Again, a loaded team, you can pinch it anytime you want or whatever you want. Call for steals. All right. Kovaleski deals. Here's the 0-1 to Vada Pinson. Fastball swung on, fly ball right field, but it's not going to carry. Babe Ruth making the catch at the track. Willie Mays gets back to first. 1 down. Jim Fregosi 1 for 2. He has a triple and grounded into a double play. Kovaleski, the 0-2 pitch. Fastball. Swing and a miss by Jim Fregosi. That's the 3rd strikeout for Stan Kovaleski. 2 down, and Orlando Cepeda is a perfect 2 for 2 today, including an RBI back in the first. Kovaleski deals. Cepeda swings in the first pitch. Base hit center field. Mays will make it to third on the play, and they're going to hold Mays there as the throw comes into Rogers Hornsby. So runners at the corners. Cepeda at first. Mays at third for Billy Williams. He was hit by a pitch back in the third. Kovaleski from the stretch in the 0-1. Curveball. Billy Williams base hit into center field. Willie Mays will score in the play. Cepeda will hold at third as Hack Wilson gets the ball into Rogers Hornsby. So the Clementes get a run back here in the bottom of the fourth. It's 7-3. And Clemente, who is 1 for 2, singled and struck out. Billy Williams, not known as a base stealer, only 7 last season. Kovaleski deals the 1-2 pitch. Curveball to Clemente, fly ball center field, but Hack Wilson barely has to move for out number 3. And now 1960s folk, we need us a pitcher. So we use the batter pitcher analysis tool for this one, and there it is. I'll let you guys pick the pitcher. And we can select any pitcher, and you can decide who you think is going to be good. So right now, here we go. Remember, Koufax and Marichal are on short rest. All right, so Todd B says, let's bring Gibby. So one angry pitcher, one angry pitcher to another. All right, so Bob Gibson will come in. I don't see anybody else, so it will be Bob Gibson. Willie Mays will sit down. All right. So it will be Hack Wilson, Joe Sewell, and Willie Cam to face the ever-intimidating Bob Gibson. Let's look at Gibson's record. None. So Gibson will be the next starter in this game when we revisit this particular decade team. Last year, 2.40 under an average, 20 wins, 11 losses, 288 1/3 innings worked, 16 home runs, 89 walks, 247 strikeouts, a whip of 1.072. One of the most fearsome, dominating pitchers in the game. Drysdale and Gibson, huh? Or would have been Drysdale and Gibson if we would have done two 1960s teams. Gotta do that. I created a 60s draft league. Gotta find where these two guys are and do a one-off against them, just an exhibition. All right, here is Hack Wilson now. Wilson making his first plate appearance in the game, I believe. Yes, indeed. All right, Gibby, here's the 1-2 pitch, and Wilson sends this high and deep to left, and this one twists just foul. Oof. All right, Todd, get some good sleep, buddy, and thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you very much. And so do my cats. You're always looking out for my cats, man. All right, Hack Wilson back in the box in the 1-2 pitch, and this time a swing and a miss. So Gibson picking up the strikeout. One down now for Joe Sewell, the shortstop. He's flown out and grounded out. Gibby winds and deals the 3-1. Sewell sends this down the left field line in the corner. Billy Williams makes the catch at the track. 2 up, 2 down now for the third baseman. Willie Cam, 0-for-2. Gibby wheels and deals the 3-0, and Cam's going to take Hine away for ball 4, so Gibson loses him, and that will bring up Muddy Rule. Muddy Rule singled back in the 4th. Willie Cam at first with 12 stolen bases. There's a player, a very, very good player, Willie Cam, who doesn't get talked about too much. Not Hall of Fame, but a very good, steady player. Bob Gibson deals the 3-0 to Muddy Rule. Fastball, and Rule takes ball 4. So Gibby comes in and strikes out a batter and now walks 2. Could be on purpose. Here's Stan Kovaleski, but Kovaleski, they were looking bunt last time, and he fooled him and singled back in the 4th. As Dwayne and I like to say, we don't need no stinking DH. All right, Gibson deals. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Kovaleski swings, and this one's extra bases. Clemente at the wall to get it, and 2 will score. Rule and Kovaleski. I'm sorry. Yeah, duh. Pretty hard for shit. So, oh my God. Kovaleski hits the dirt with a 3-bagger. So, there we go. Willie Cam will come in to score on that one. Anyhow, sometimes it just goes too quickly. Doesn't matter. It's 9-3. It's turning into a laugher, guys. All right. Anyhow, here's Rogers Hornsby 0-for-1. Kovaleski at third. Hornsby has walked twice in this game. Gibson out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Fastball. And this one is a pass ball. Bill Freehan couldn't handle that one, and it's 10-3. And I think So Texag's taken up. Tell you what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to use the zoom feature. Hate to do it, but we're going to zoom because this is becoming a laugher. Let's take this one up to the 7th. Still 10-3. We're just going to go ahead and end of game. I usually don't, but this is a blowout. What's the point, right? This game is over, and it is 10-3. So it was goose eggs all the way. Let's just do a quick recap. Babe Ruth goes 4 for 4 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. Stan Kovaleski 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. Muddy Rule goes 2 for 4. And Orlando Cepeda goes 3 for 5. Kovaleski gets the win, improves to 1-1. Don Drysdale goes to 0-2. Let's look at pitching. So Kovaleski goes the distance, 9 innings, 12 hits, 3 runs. They were earned, walked 4, struck out 5. The 1960s, it didn't look so pretty. Don Drysdale only lasted 3 2/3, 6 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 2 home runs, walked 3, struck out 2. Boy, what a high ERA that is. Juan Pizarro worked a third of an inning. Bob Gibson worked an inning, gave up 3 runs, 2 were earned, so we saw that bit. Walked 2, struck out 1. Then let's see, Ron Klein came in, worked 2 innings. And then Locker came in, and again, so only 4 strikeouts. Let's look at this game recap. Let's see if we missed anything from the 5th to the 9th. Nope. Nope. So the 60s failing to score on 3 hits, and nasty stuff. No stolen bases in this game, which is also one of the reasons why I always miss dead ball. MVP, Babe Ruth, no question there. And Max Carey injured just for the day. We had 2 triples, Jim Fregosi and Stan Kovaleski. So that does it. The 20s making a statement saying, hey, Bafangul, why don't you pick us? Exciting decade for baseball. Transitional decade for baseball, which is why I put it up there. But it seems like more people are wanting 1950s baseball. So, believe it or not, I already have that set up in 2 different... I have it set up in this and in Baseball for Windows. I have the 20s set up as well. All right, so how many of you sleepy gents? All right, here's my idea. Here's what I want to do. And I'm going to have to put this up in Discord. And this, you know what? This might be a crackpot idea, but what the hell? We can all break out our baseball resources and stuff like that. Again, I'm building up to McGreevy. Here's what I would like to do as a community. And it would be like maybe we can do it on our next baseball chin wag type thing. Right? Maybe even tomorrow if I don't go out. So we would start everybody, right? We decide how many teams we would want. Okay? And then each person, and again, this is just going to be a tournament just for fun. Nothing like, setting managers or any funny stuff like that. So we would say, okay, everybody, you're just going to make a team, right? And it's not going to be a draft order. It will just be, okay, or will be kind of a draft, I guess, but just for fun. You can draft from baseball history, no assigned years, nothing like that. Just pick a player. So we would do a round of first baseman, then second baseman, third baseman, all together until we would have however many people would like to have some teams, and then we would do it as a tournament and out of the park baseball. You can select your, select your own team names if you want, or you can name your team after whatever. But it's just an idea I had. I think it would be fun. I think it'd be a lot of fun if we do it in out of the park baseball, 1871 to 2022. If we do it in action PC baseball, 1880 to 2022. If we do it in baseball for Windows, 1871 to 1997. If we do it in old time baseball, 1871 to 1981. You get the picture. Digital Diamond Baseball, 1871 to 2022. So I don't know what you guys might think about that. I think it might be fun, just as a way to kind of talk some baseball and pick a team. Just everybody create a team and have fun with it. It's not going to be a full season thing. Just it's just a way to mix things up, I guess, and have a little bit of fun. So let me know what you guys think if you'd like to do it. Um, and if not, yeah, we won't. So Ken Castor says he put a new graphic of the game he played today under projects in the Discord just for fun. Well, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at that, because that's always fun to look at that stuff. You know what? That's the other thing I want to do more of, is starting to show some things in the that's going on in the, for the guys that are playing offline, like Ken. Bernie, kudos to you, man. I like the little I like the nice banners you make for your, this one's really nice. This Friday Night Baseball looks really, really good. Where did you put this, Ken? Is it in projects, or where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, is this the Dodgers Pirates one? Guys, check this out. Cousin Ken getting all fancy. Let me bring this over and show this to you. My Buccos narrowly defeating JT Dutch's Dodgers. This is the Bats League, and Ken is doing this in Apago, I believe. Is that what you're doing this in? I think it is. So there you go. Let me see. Cooper gets the win. Clem Labine gets the loss. Nap Rucker. See if I can make this a little larger so you guys can see it. There we go. So Roy Campanella looks like he had himself a good game. The Dodgers standouts for Campanella, Robinson, Frederick, Nap Rucker, and then Deacon Philippe. Let's see. Wagner had a damn good game, 3 for 6. Max Carey, way to go, Max. He went 2 for 5. Pie Trainer, 1 for 5, and had the game-winning RBI. So for the Pirates, 7-11-0. For the Dodgers, 6-9-2. Ken, nice work. Nice work, man. Oh, so this was the APA Full Master game. Okay. Wow. No Hall of Famers would be a great twist. All right. We could even do that, Todd. If you guys wanted to do that. Again, so we'd pick a first baseman. He can't be in the Hall of Fame. Second base, no Hall of Fame. We could do that. And again, just make it a tournament, not a full season thing. Next thing you know, Ken will be upgrading his dial-up service. Ken, that's a great graphic, man. Ken, how'd you do it? Ken, I'm a graphic artist. I wonder how you did it. Looks really nice. I guess we're getting the... oh, okay. Is this something that would be fun? Oh, wow. Game recapper. Just create it. This is gorgeous, man. Here we go. Now, of course, I'm a cheap bastard. Is this free? Probably not, but I might want to buy this. So create recap. Create recap. Let me bring this over to you guys. Holy shit, I'm being such a dork here. So here's what Ken did that smexy graphic in. This is cool. Okay, so you just fill in everything. Let's do this. Let's do this, man. Did I get rid of... No, there. I always put up the wrong one. All right, let's play. I want to see what it looks like. Come on. I love new toys, man. And Ken says it's free. All right. So I'm gonna do the. Oh, you son of a bitch! Ah, should have brought the game recapper. Let me see. Let's do something here. I'm gonna move it over to here because Owl Park likes to be really crappy about this kind of stuff. All right, I'm gonna do it off screen and show it to you guys on screen. So, all right. Let's close Discord because we don't need that for right now. All right, let's go to the... Yeah, hello. Let's go to the box score. League name. Yeah, come on. Oh my God, Action PC. Why are you such a pain in the ass? So the game is somewhere. Ah. All right. Well, thank you, Dave, for the weirdness. Yeah. There's an Action PC window open somewhere. That sucks. So shit. Come on, Dave. All right. Well, there's only one thing for it. Taskbar. And we're going to do the task manager. We're just going to kill Action PC Baseball. As soon as I find it. Wish Windows would fix this part. Because like stuff's like running, like jumps all over the place and stuff like that. I hate that. So Action PC's pretending it's not running right now. Great, I'm stuck. All right, well, then we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. Boom. There. Let's just bring up the game recapper again and look at it. Guys, this looks really cool. So basically, you're just plugging in everything and you get something smexy like this. So, of course, I'm saving this. This is really nice. Ken, how long have you known about this? You're holding out on us. Learn more. While Major League Baseball is the only recap available, that's all I care about. Anyhow, to offer more sports soon. Who cares? But, well, you guys care. I don't care. That looks really nice. Let me see. Create a recap. What if we did standings? How many standings can you do? So just 5 players or 5 teams, but that's still nice. Let's just do one. Standings header. Let's say we're gonna make it all up here as we go. All right, Castro League. Select a team. Philadelphia Phillies, of course, for Cousin Ken. I know. So they won 100 and lost 54. And I shouldn't have picked this because whatever. The Pittsburgh Pirates, of course, were in second place, right? They were. Yeah. So they won 90, 99, right? What do we? Oh my God. And lost 53, 54, 55. So we lost 55. And then everybody else sucked. So, no. Chicago Cubs. Chicago Cubs, they did all right. Chicago Cubs did all right. Chicago Cubs, they did, check my math here, guys. They finished 80 and, 74, whatever. Can I just do this with 3 teams? Because I'm tired of the math. Let's see what it does. It's a churning. Because, I mean, I can do stuff like this as a graphic artist, but if this will make it for me, why the hell not? As we wait. All right. Yeah, it can brighten up your replay a bit instead of the day after day by day box scores. Todd B says there's a guy in limited scope to the modern game. Is that why it's? I wonder if that's why it's not liking what I'm doing here. I also didn't put games back or anything. Maybe I've just pissed it off. So that's okay. You just go home. This looks nice. I would definitely play with this. So limited to the modern game. That's okay. It's a start. It's a start. I mean, because again, I can do this stuff in like Canva or Photoshop or whatever, but this is Purdy. And I looked at that. I'm like, what, Ken? What are you doing, man? What's that from? All right. Cool stuff. Time is at 1:39. I don't think anybody's up for another baseball game, so we can talk for a few minutes. The World Series is over, and now we are into just playing our baseball, which is nice. Let's poke around Saber for a few minutes. What the hell? Let's find something interesting in Saber to look at. Just till I finish my stogie. And there we go. Kerplunk. All right. And let's go to our research resources. Guys, if you don't belong to Saber, why the hell don't you? I did a whole stream on Saber. There's Baseball Magazine, Baseball Analyst. I love the Rucker Archive. The Rucker Archive is really nice. It's just photos, but it's really, really cool. Saber's Baseball Index. There's the archive of for the Baseball Research Journal. So if you're a member, here they are. It's just ridiculous what's on here. I love it. The Emerald Guide to Baseball, if that's something that you're into. Just so much here. God, minor league no-hitters, minor league stars. The Saber Oral History Collection. Watch, I'm going to get dinged by a Russian. All right, who do we want to listen to here? We got to listen to somebody, right? Browse by tags, browse by last name. Of course, you know who I'm going for here, right? I remember seeing a really cool, quick thing by Hannes Wagner, but I guess it's probably not in here. Dixie Walker, Harry Walker. Is Bernie still here? Bernie might already be. That's Ted Williams. Let's do Ted Williams. Here we go.
It was on September 28, 1960. You're age 42. You'll play your last game at Fenway Park. I think you didn't have a hit up until your last time at bat. You got a home run over I think it was a Red Sox bullpen, Titanic home run. And at that time, the Red Sox were like 5,000 games out of first place. The game didn't mean anything.
5,000 games.
And it was a sparse crowd. It was a cloudy day. And as you circled the bases, all the fans in the stands stood up and applauded. You circled the bases and went in the dugout. You went through the tunnel into the locker. You never showed your face again, and people kept applauding and applauding. I get this from Curt Gowdy now. He explained this to me. And he says, you never came out for that applause. Was there any reason, Ted?
Well, that wasn't quite accurate. I didn't go back out for acknowledgement of the applause, but Mike Higgins was pretty smart about this. They all were, hollering for me to come out. I didn't come out, but I had to go out for the next inning, and I went out for the next inning. And as I was running out the outfield, he had somebody right behind me running on out, because when I got out, they looked around and I'd already been replaced. So I did go back out in the field. It's a great moment for me. I have to admit that. Here it is 33 years or 23 years later, and it was a great moment for me.
Curt Gowdy was a Toastmaster at a banquet in Manchester, New Hampshire, where you came from Canada. You cut short a fishing trip for an American Legion World Series banquet, which I attended. And when he was introducing you, I still remember, you were leaning back in your chair next to the lectern, and Curt was praising you to the skies, greatest hitter, the most remarkable man, so forth. And you said real loud that everybody in the room could hear. You said, cut the shit, Curt. You remember that?
I don't remember saying those words, but, you bring up Curt Gowdy, and he's one of my dearest friends, and I think was absolutely one of the greats that'll ever be on a microphone. And I was with him for a long time, and I'll have everlasting affection for Curt Gowdy.
Well, Ted, after that last game at Fenway Park, last game as a major leaguer, I believe the Sox had to go to Yankee Stadium for a series before the season was completed. But you never made that series, right?
Well, I'd already told him this is it for me. I told him that. And I've always been just a little bitter about that, because they knew I was not going anyplace after that day. And but it worked out because I didn't go, and I But that was my intentions all the time.
Ted, you said, I was reading this in some old Sports Illustrated that I have.
All right, good night, Cousin
back
Ken.
in 1955.
Sleep well.
You didn't begin the season until May in 55, I think.
Yeah, sleep well, Cousin Ken. So YouTube, I'll put this also in a disclaimer that this is owned by Saber, so I don't get a stupid copyright strike. We'll continue to listen to this for a little bit. Nice to hear Teddy Ball Game talking. All right, cousin, looking forward to lots more baseball.
In an interview with Sports Illustrated. In that interview, you said one of the most overworked expressions in sports is overconfidence. And you said that the less confidence you had, the better you fared. And that sometimes it was better not to have any confidence at all, but perhaps just to step back a little bit and not feel as if you could do the job.
Well, you're true about that. I'm apparently exemplified complete confidence. I was loose, and that was just my style. But boy, I can tell you, when I thought I had it made, and this guy's really a lamb, I'd either get walked, or I wouldn't get a good pitch, or I'd just miss one. But the day that I went out there and say, boy, this guy is tough, and I know it, I could very well just whistle 3 balls. So I feel that way a little bit. I think you can get overconfident. I'd certainly rather be just slightly underconfident than overconfident.
What do you think of this situation?
We'll go ahead and stop it there, guys, as everybody's kind of dropping off. It is late. But, so, Saber, this is there's over 700 players here in this oral history collection. So, hundreds of interviews conducted with ball players, majors, minors, Negro Leagues, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, executive scouts, authors, writers, broadcasters, other figures of historical baseball significance. These interviews, some which dates back more than 50 years, were conducted by a member of Saber's Oral History Research Committee and were digitized through a collaboration with the National Baseball Hall of Fame Library, which is, I'd love to work there, oh my God, in the library. So, anyhow, guys, just wanted to finish off with something like that, but I should have started it earlier. This would be fun tonight for an old baseball chin wag. Listen to a few of these guys talking, and kind of comment on them, I suppose. I'm curious if they have anything here from Jimmy Fox. I don't know how much. I've never even heard Jimmy Fox speak. He's one of my favorite players. Let me see if there's a Jimmy Fox. Nope. So Jimmy probably never caught him. Too bad. All right. Anyhow, guys, that's it, I guess. Thank you very much. Kick around my idea if something you'd like to do. We can certainly do it. In the meantime, thank you to Cousin Ken Castro, to Bernie Strom, who I've got to go back and catch his game. Since I'm in the mood for more baseball, I'm going to go back and watch Bernie's 1914 game. Todd B., thank you very much. Tex Ags, Mike Silva, thanks, guys. And Ken, thanks for showing me that software. JT Dutch, always a pleasure, of course. Aaron Reed, who we hope we get better soon. That he will get better soon. And first in the ballpark tonight is Mike Silva, who is long asleep now, I'm guessing. All right, guys, until next we meet, if you're a member of Saber, go and play around in the site. It's so much fun. All right. See you around the batting cage, gentlemen. Good night.